What is going on, folks? Antoine here, and welcome back to another episode of Cord Cutter Daily. And I got some pretty hot and interesting topics I want to go over with you guys. And I also have some movie recommendations. These are some great movies. If you're into thrillers, you're going to want to stick around for this. So first thing I want to talk about is how Amazon is helping to deliver and pick up at-home tests of the COVID-19 coronavirus. So Amazon is doing their part, but one thing I want to mention is there's another article on the Wall Street Journal is that FDA warns consumers against at-home coronavirus tests. So what does that mean? So I scoured the internet, look for information on who was doing the at-home test. So I did find the source NURX, right? But the articles related to that source didn't really point the finger at them. They didn't say that the FDA was talking to them, but this is my next point I'm getting to. I want to get into is that you want to be careful where you get your information from. Whenever I do these Cord Cutter Dailies, I cross-reference articles because remember, folks, that somebody's getting it from somebody else. Otherwise, the source will put it out directly, right? CM or Amazon will put the information out there directly for you to see it, or Roku will put the information out for you to see it directly. You're getting it from different sources that people within these organizations talk to, and they tend to sometimes, I believe, inflate numbers. So that's what I want to talk about right here for a hot second. So it's having to do with this article with Amazon, right? So as you can see, this article is CNBC, a trusted source. You see this article was updated or uploaded at March 23rd, 2:23 p.m. And then we go to The Verge. Similar article, but added words, more stuff to it. And this article was uploaded same date, but at 7:32 p.m. So let's go down here. So I kind of highlighted some areas. So this is the CNBC article that was uploaded at 2:23, right? So they said that 95 people have died and 2,000 people have been diagnosed with COVID-19 in Seattle and King County, or half of the cases coming out of King County, right? All right, so we go to the Verge article. Look at that time, right? That's about 5 hours ahead of the CNBC article. So we just scroll down here. So they say this, all right, 2,000 people have been confirmed and over 100 deaths. So how do they get from 95 to 100 with the same amount of people? That just don't add up. So I just look at these minute things. So what I did was I went to the cdc.gov and I went to their website and I came upon the Seattle or King or the Washington numbers, right? So if we go down here, we see them boom, boom, boom. So they was true about more than half of the cases coming out of King County, right? So King County has 87 deaths, right? And they have the most confirmed cases. Wow. So if you live in King County, man, be safe out there. So we go down here and you see we have 110 deaths and 2,200 cases. Now, let's go back up here. The CDC stops update information at 3:07 p.m. So how at 7:32 p.m. you getting these numbers? You getting 2,000 at 100 deaths, but the CDC they posted their study up or their results up at 3:07 p.m. with, over 2,200 cases and confirmed I'm just getting but positive results and 110 deaths. I mean, this might seem little, but when you inflate numbers, that much, sure, you say certain things you can round off to the nearest 100, right? But something like this, I don't think it really helps, because we dealing with a percentage basis. We dealing with a percentage, right? So they went on and they added 5 more to what CNBC added. And, the reason I'm getting CNBC involved, because they reference CNBC in their article. This is CNBC. So they reference in CNBC article. So, I'm pretty sure how the blogger does it is he maybe follow a couple different posts, and he took notes from that article while he was doing other articles, and he or she probably took notes from this article while doing another article. And by the time he finished this, it was 7 something, but I think in a case like this where it's affecting people globally, I think you should get your numbers right. Most definitely. Let me know what you guys think about that. So to get into the real cord cutter information, right? So FDA warns against at-home coronavirus tests. So pretty much in this article, they're saying that they're not FDA approved, so they don't know what these people are testing for. They haven't had any confirmed results or any confirmed test results or anything like that. So that's just something to keep in mind. But NURX, the company NURX, is a pretty reliable company. They don't mention this in this article, but you can look them up. They, back in I think a couple years ago, they were awarded $52 million in birth control distribution. So they've been around for a while, but still not FDA approved, right? Still not FDA approved. Now let's get into the real cord cutting thing, keeping in line with Amazon. So Amazon is rolling out multiple profiles. So this is especially important for those of you who have multiple people living in your household and you're sharing the same account, right? So you might loan your account out to a friend and he starts watching up some content, and next thing you know, you're getting recommended content that he or she watches, and it's not in line with the content that you watch. So they're rolling out multiple profiles, so you won't have this issue. You have your profile, your kids have their profile, your husband has his profile, or wife, significant other, they have their profile. That way you're not getting recommended or seeing content that they previously watched, and just pretty much cluttering up your Prime Video screen. Right. All right, folks, so let's head on over to the next thing. So Amazon Prime is making kids content free for everybody. So it looks like they're following suit with Sling TV. Sling TV rolled out some free content for people, and they pretty much labeled it free. Free. I forgot what they named it, but it was free. They labeled it so that way it wasn't part of the original free content, but they're telling you that it's free for all. So only thing you need to access this account is an Amazon membership. So, or Amazon account, not a membership, an Amazon account. And pretty much everybody has an Amazon account. Again, you do not need a Prime Video account. All you need is an Amazon account. Open up your Prime Video app, which is available on the Roku device, Fire Stick, of course, mobile devices, iOS devices, Google. It's available across pretty much every platform. Just open up the app and you have access to free content. So let's take a look at the content they have. Of course, you're not going to see Frozen or anything on here or The Lion King, but they do have some content where your kids can learn and where they can watch it. You won't have to worry about them running into anything inappropriate. Thank God SpongeBob is not on here. SpongeBob can be very inappropriate, and I'm telling you, the stuff that SpongeBob. I stopped my kids from watching SpongeBob, so I don't even know if they still making new episodes. But just going through the content down here. Now these are free courtesy of IMDb TV. All right, so just going through here. It's free with ads. Shrek, boom, the Smurfs 2. That's some fairly new content. Megamind, I think that's something your kids will binge watch. Scooby Doo, Little Giants, that's a good throwback. Max and that job. So one of my favorites is Arthur. Right, they got Arthur on here. So if you're a fan of PBS, Arthur is going to be a show that you're going to probably be able to enjoy with your kids. Right. All right, folks. So Prime Video. All right. So next thing I want to touch on is Pie Pies. So if you can see this in time, Pie Pies Chicken, the store, is giving you their password and username, so you can get access to their Netflix account 30 days for free. So let's go ahead and play the video.
Where we come from, everyone is family, and families share video streaming accounts. Post photos enjoying your Popeyes meal on Twitter using hashtag #thatpassword from Popeyes. The first 1,000 people to post will get our streaming service username and password.
Fried chicken too.
All right, so folks, if you get access to their password and username. I wonder what Netflix is going to have to say about this. But I reported previously, Netflix said they didn't mind people sharing their username and passwords. That was actually something that they didn't care about, and actually, was happy to see. Netflix didn't mind people sharing passwords and usernames. But again, folks, that goes back. If you ever seen an article that's saying Netflix was hot red about something, I mean, that goes back to the COVID, the Seattle, Washington deaths. Who's really telling the truth? Who's really giving you the facts? Who's really giving you the right numbers? Right? All right, folks, let's get into some movies. So I'm a movie watcher. I say it all the time. I'm a big fan of thriller movies, horror, thriller. I don't like the gory horror thrillers. I mean horror movies, but like The Devil's Rejects, that's like borderline for me. I like that movie, but it's like the farthest I go. The Devil Rejects, that's like if you've never seen that movie, you need to Google it or search for it in your Roku. That's the line right there, The Devil's Rejects. But so some movie recommendations now. All my recommendations are going to be on free platforms, and these recommendations I have for you guys today go in line with the Amazon Prime membership. So if you're have an Amazon Prime membership, you are going to be able to watch these movies absolutely free. Most of them are free on Tuba TV or Pluto TV. All right, so the first movie is The Seeds. So let's see if we can get I don't know if I can get away with maybe playing a trailer, but this is a interesting movie, is because there's a weird relationship going on, and I'm trying to figure out a way how I can explain this. So when I watch a horror movie or thriller movie, you could probably figure out what the storyline is going. It's pretty much most storylines, specifically in B on low budget films, are linear. You know where they're going, but this one, it's going every which way. It's going left, right, up, down. It's taking you on a ride, but at the same time, it's keeping you engaged, and what's going on, right? But it's still surprises in there, right? It's kind of an edge of seat type of thriller, but it's not like on edge of the seat biting your nails type of thriller, right? So that's The Seeds. I recommend you guys check that out. So the next one is The Fanatic. If you ever been wondering where John Travolta was at, he's still making films, right? Now this is another thriller. This is a crime thriller, and this is pretty much this is an interesting movie to me. But the reason I'm flubbering, but I found this movie. I was just browsing through, and I just decided to click on it only because it was a thriller. I'm just suspense and thriller. That's me. But it was a thriller, and it had John Travolta, so I wanted to see what it was about. It's one of those, like, if you ever seen Terminator 2, how Evil T-1000, he starts running off slow, but then he gets faster and faster and faster. That's how this movie storyline is. It starts off slow, but it takes off faster and faster and faster. And the way the storyline is, it makes you feel sorry for his awkwardness, right? You wondering, dang, why are you doing that? Not in the sense like you mad at him why you doing that. It's like, why are you doing that? You're gonna get caught, right? And this movie is absolutely free to watch on Amazon Prime Video. I recommend you guys checking it out. I will even throw in crime, thriller, and suspense, because it is one of those movies that's, it's I haven't watched a movie like it, right? So, The Fanatic, folks, definitely check that out. So the next movie I'm going to recommend is Room for Rent. Now, I did an Instagram post about this about a couple months ago, and this movie, out of all the 3 movies I'm recommending, this will probably be number one recommendation right now. This is just I will say an edge of your seat thriller, right? You got horror, mystery, thriller. I will even throw in suspense, right? It's suspenseful. Horror. I wouldn't really put horror in there. It's not really that much horror going on. But this lady right here, I think she's the queen of horror movies. She's been in a lot of horror movies. But man, she's a nice, for her age, she has a nice physique, right? I'm just going to throw that out there. But she plays a good part in this movie. I seen her on a movie on, I think it was Friendly TV. Now, Friendly TV is a family-based app streaming service. So, but, she's a good actor. She plays the role in this movie good. So if I could just break it down for you guys, give you a quick synopsis. This is an older lady. She's widowed. So her husband dies, and she's new to the new world. So she turns her house into an Airbnb. And guess what? A young guy moves in, and it's funny parts in this movie. There's edgy seat parts in this movie. But the young guy moves in, and she, I guess, what I like about it is most movies, whereas in this movie, she's not just jumping all over. Whereas other movies, if anybody else would have written this movie, they probably would have had her jumping all over this young guy. But this movie, it was subtle advances, and that would really set this movie apart from the other movies out there. But young guy checks in her Airbnb, and she's just, it's like she can't get out of her older ways, but she still want to get out there. She want to, see what's out there. So I recommend you guys check that out. But that is it, folks. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for another episode of Cord Cutter Daily. I will talk to you guys next time. Peace out.